tried making it as simple as possible. So first thing, I imported pandas as PD to help me with the data frame. Here I imported numpy as np to help me with the array, and I imported this library. This is extra actually, to show the graph. No need to show the graph, but I imported it, but it's no need. So first here I have my function called find local maxima minima. I'm gonna send to this function my data. So I'm gonna add a new column called pattern. It's gonna start with empty, with none. There is no pattern. Then I'm gonna add to it depending on what I'm gonna find with this data. So here first I have my array. This array is gonna be my close, and here n is the length of my array. I have min and max arrays. So I'm gonna start from for I in range from 4 to n minus 4. Why did I start like this? Because I'm gonna um, compare 4 points. So I'm gonna check, for example, the first point, which is gonna be, for example, here I say I started from 4, so it's gonna be, let's say, um, this is to compare between 4 points. That's it. I started like this because I'm gonna compare between 4 points. So here I have my, let's take a look at the patterns. So here we have the bearish double top. So in the bearish double top, I have I. This is gonna be my I, and this is gonna be my I minus I plus 1 and I minus 1. This is gonna be I plus 2 and I plus 3. So as we can see here, I is bigger than I minus 1. So I'm gonna first say that Ri is bigger than I minus 1 and Ri is bigger than I plus 1. Then I'm gonna say that I plus 3 is this. I plus 3 is bigger than um, I plus 1 and I plus 4. So if it's true, I'm gonna say append to the max function max array, append I to it, the maximum point, and my other maximum point, which is gonna be I plus 3 here. And instead of an empty pattern, because here I made it empty, I'm gonna change it using data log. I'm gonna say make it bearish double top. Here I used this to update every time I check the point. I check I. So every time I check I update my pattern column. In the other in the else if, I have I'm gonna check for bullish double bottom. It's the same as this, but the only difference is I'm gonna append to the minimum, not to the maximum. And the point that were maximum here, like the highest points here, are gonna become the lowest points. So it's gonna be the other side. So here I'm gonna say it's a bullish double bottom because my I here isn't greater, it's now smaller. And I'm gonna compare the same buttons. And this again to update the pattern column. Now in the other else if, here I have here I'm gonna check for bearish head and shoulders. In the bearish head and shoulders, as we can see here, I have this I. I'm gonna say that this is I, this point here. I is gonna be bigger than I plus 2, I plus 1, and it's gonna also be bigger than I minus 1. And here I have I minus 2 is gonna be bigger than I minus 1 and bigger than I minus 3. So here I'm gonna say that my I minus 2, which is this, is bigger than I minus 3 and I minus 1, what I just explained in the pictures. And here I'm gonna say that Ri is bigger than I plus 1 and also is bigger than I minus 1. I'm gonna also check the other side, this side. So I'm gonna here say that I plus 2 is bigger than I plus 3 and it's bigger than I plus 1. And then I'm gonna append them to the max. I'm gonna append I plus 2 because it's bigger, so I'm gonna append I plus 2. I'm gonna also append I, and I'm also gonna append I minus 2. And I'm gonna say that this pattern isn't empty anymore. Now it's bearish head and shoulders. And the same thing for the inverted. Inverted is the other side. I'm gonna say the points that were here bigger are gonna become smaller. So, and I'm gonna append them to my min array, not my max. And I'm gonna change the pattern instead of none to bullish inverted head and shoulders. If I wanna make bearish triple top or bullish triple bottom, it's gonna be the same thing. I'm just gonna have to change the range because I'm gonna compare maybe more points, and I'm just gonna say, for example, this is I plus 1, this is I minus 1, I is gonna be bigger than them. I'm gonna here say I plus 2 is bigger than I plus 3 and bigger than I plus 1. And depending on this, I'm gonna say that they are equal, like sorry, this. Depending on them, I'm gonna say that this point is equal to this, is equal to this, as much as I understood. That's the only difference. And I'm gonna, after that, this was my function, I'm gonna just return the data at the end. Here, I created df to print the data frame. Here I said read my CSV from my folders. I'm gonna here say that df is equal to my function, and I'm gonna send my df, which is my data, to this function. Here I use this just to create the graph, and here I print the df, and this is just to show the graph. And that's it. If you run it, it's gonna give you the same thing. That's it.